Alright guys, you wanted it. Here it is. This is the Bear Grylls Scout folding knife, part of his survival series from Gerber or Fiskars. And this is by far the most requested knife review I've had since my channel started. It's just so overwhelming, the request for this, and not just this specific knife, but any of the Bear Grylls knives, that I had to just get one. This one came from bladeops.com. I'll put a link in the description box. This is not going to be, I'm going to call it a knife review, but this is more of a preliminary review because I've only carried this for 2 days now, and I don't personally feel that's enough time to do a full-on review. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a review anyway, and if my opinions change at all on this, I'll do a review update video like I've done in the past with the K-Bar TDI knife. So it's just like I said, there's so much request for it. I want to do the video on this. Did carry it just for 2 days. Put it back in the packaging here just so you can see how it comes to you. Excuse me. And we'll be talking about it. I did use it actually a lot today. Yesterday I didn't use it at all. I carried it all day but didn't use it. And today I was preparing for spring, doing a lot of cleanup stuff, cutting a lot of stuff outside, as well as a bunch of plastic. If you guys remember when I put all that plastic up on my porch, took all that down today. By the way, a little side note, I used my SOG Power Lock EOD model, the multi-tool, to pull out probably, I don't know, 300 staples, which worked beautifully. Great multi-tool. But anyway, yeah, I cut up a bunch of that plastic sheeting that I showed you in the past. So here's my impressions on the knife. This is probably the only time, or very few times, I'll ever do a review, like I said, after just 2 days of owning it. I do like to use it quite a bit, pretty extensive use before I do a review on it, because some things change, your opinions change with use. But since I had so much use today, I'm just going to go ahead and do a review, because so many people want to see this. So anyway, besides the knife, we also get this little pocket survival guide. Let's take a look at that first. Actually, let's take a look at the packaging first. You can see in here, just easy packaging to hang on a shelf somewhere. Like I said, this one came from the internet. I'm not sure what stores you can walk into and get this. I'm sure people will comment below if they've seen this physically in stores. Maybe Cabela's or Dick's Sporting Goods or the Outdoorsman's Guide or something. Some place where you can actually go to pick this up. But anyway, yeah, you get the knife and the little survival guide. Let's just take a look at the guide here. You have some basic survival tips. Let me open it up. It's actually nice to throw in a pack. I mean, I would say if you're adventuring out in the middle of nowhere, you should probably learn some different basic survival techniques. But you know what? Sometimes we forget things. It really can't hurt anything to have a guide with you at all times. So I think it's a nice addition. So it's broken down in little sections here. We have rescue, food, of course, water on the left there, and on the back here. Here's where rescue starts. Back was a continuation. Then we have protection such as clothing and shelter, and it's just really interesting. If you look at fire, they briefly talk about the drill and bow, a fire bow. You can do a fire saw, which I think is the most difficult of all these options. In fact, the fire saw is what we saw Tom Hanks do in that movie, which is escaping me right now, and I don't know why I brought it up, because now I can't think of the name. Oh, crap, what was that movie? Dead Air. Dead Air, come on, what is it? You guys know what I'm talking about. Tom Hanks, Jesus, that's gonna kill me. Alright, I'm back. Can't believe I couldn't think of it. It's Tom Hanks from Castaway. I knew if I didn't actually look it up, you guys would be screaming at the computer screen, throwing stuff across your room. Jeff, why can't you remember that? Castaway. That was a movie people loved or hate. Either they loved it or they totally hated it, and I loved it. I thought it was a great movie. But anyway, when he finally discovers fire with Wilson, he does the fire saw method, which is another friction fire. But anyway, I don't even know why I spent so much time talking about that. And of course, the easiest way is utilizing car battery and a couple wires to get a spark. But of course, I'm not going to go super in-depth with this. You can see the different things here. If you want to pause the video and look at this and read some of the stuff, you can. But it's just interesting. Gives you some good information here. It certainly does not hurt anything, especially showing you a couple different knots there. But anyway, all right. So we have a little mini pocket survival guide, which is a very nice addition. I think you can throw this anywhere. Keep it in your pocket, keep it in your wallet, you know, put it in your bag, whatever. So that's nice. All right. So the pack. First, I want to show you the packaging here. Something interesting I found in the back. Right here, caution. Let's let this focus. Cut hazard. Sharp blades, improper use, chiseling, ice picking, prying, applying force onto back of blade, or contact may result in injury. Always keep blades away from fingers and body. Do not use if damaged or blade is loose, or apply force onto back of blades. Handle with care. If not in use, store in its sheath or safe place. Keep out of reach, children. So why did I read that? Because I believe that is very good advice. However, it's a little ironic because of the fact that this is a survival knife, and you're going to be abusing this knife far beyond anything that's ever suggested with a folding knife. So I thought I'd mention it because I think it's kind of funny. Another thing I think it's kind of funny is that they have this awesome picture of Bear Grylls in the background, and they're selling the Scout folding knife, but it's a picture of Bear Grylls with his $500 custom knife he's holding. You would think that they would at least have a picture of him with this knife, right? But I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Maybe I should have been in marketing. So another thing that I found a little ironic, and again, all this information is just for entertainment purposes, has nothing to do with the knife or its quality. But on the back here on the right, we see Gerber Legendary Blades. Of course, they're located in Portland, Oregon, which is an American state. Well, it's a town in an American state. And then underneath we have Fiskars. Fiskars is a foreign company. I believe they're, I don't want to say Switzerland. Fiskars is in Sweden, I believe. And then underneath there, made in China. So, Gerber's American, Fiskars is something else. I believe it's, oh, you know what? No, maybe it's Finland. Finnish. I don't know. Anyway, it's definitely not America. And then, of course, at the very end there, made in China, which is just ironic to me. Gerber, you're such a funny company sometimes. So, all of that stuff has nothing to do with the knife, and I'm sorry if I wasted your time, but I just find that stuff ironic and funny, and I thought I'd mention it. So now let's just finally look at the knife, right? Alright, so here's the knife. Put the packaging over there for a second. Come on. There we go. Okay. So first thing is, you got this little plastic nib on the front, so you don't accidentally poke yourself trying to get it out of the package, which I think is awesome. I think that's actually a nice little touch. So let's put that aside. Alright, here's our knife. This is the Scout. Okay. I'm not going to give you specifications and stuff. This is going to be purely my opinion on the knife. I will put the specifications in the description box. If you're someone who has to know that information, it will be in the description box for you. But I don't have it handed to me at the moment. This is just my opinions of what I thought the last 2 days. And it's particularly today with using it extensively. First thing I'll tell you is that it's comfortable. It's pretty ergonomic. For me, the handle, it sweeps up just a little bit here, and I'll tell you, I can probably use just a little bit more handle. I mean, just a hair longer would be even better. But as is, it's pretty comfortable. All right, now right off the bat, I'm kind of skeptical of the knife because of its gimmickiness, that it's touted as the Bear Grylls knife. Like I said, even in the picture, he's got his custom fixed blade. He's not even holding a knife in the picture. But anyway, I have to say, you know, I was impressed with it. For what it is, it really was impressive to me. I'm not a huge fan of a combination edge on this, but like the package says in the back, I don't know if you saw it or not, but it says that the combination edge with the plain edge and the serrations is ideal for blade retention, which I'll give them that. Serrations will retain an edge longer because of the fact that only the tips of the steel are coming in contact, you know, when you're cutting. If you're cutting on a board or wood or something like that. So serrations do tend to stay sharper longer. The problem is that when they finally go dull, they're like 10 times harder to sharpen than a plain edge. But for what it's worth, it came razor sharp. I mean, probably the sharpest Gerber knife I've ever had, other than the Applegate Fairbane covert folder. And I'm looking for something to cut to show you that. Man, talk about unprepared. Let me grab a piece of paper for you. Hang in there. I'm coming. Hang in there. Don't go anywhere. Okay. This paper here. First, we got the plain edge. And of course, the serrations. Nice and sharp here. And let's do a push cut with this. I mean, really, really smooth. Let's try a nice thin little push cut. Oop. Very happy with the blade. Now this, keep in mind, this is after a full day's use. I literally use this for about, well, physical use with the knife probably 15 minutes, you know, throughout the day, like constant use. But believe it or not, that's a lot of knife use. Get this crap out of the way here. And I was very happy with it, and it still held its edge. I didn't do anything extreme. I wasn't cutting any really hard material. Like I said, plastic for the most part, and some different cardboard and a little bit of wood. But also, another thing to note is that the finish on it has held up for today anyway. No scratching or anything on it. No real wear. You can see just a tiny bit in the serrations, but anyway, I was very impressed with the blade out of the box. Put it that way, or out of the cardboard. I would say that as far as size, it is a usable blade size. There's nothing wrong with it whatsoever. Some people prefer large or small. This is kind of like that porridge, you know, in Goldilocks. It's just right. Just enough blade to do what you have to. If you need the blade larger than this, then you probably need a fixed blade. A folder is not for you. By the way, this is a lockback folder. It does have just a hair of up and down play, and I'm going to show you why. There we go. Right there. If I can get the light right, you'll see on either side of it, the thing that's moving, look at it, that's our lock bar. I get the light just right on here. There's like two dimples. See those two little silver dots? Those are actually just raised portions of the metal. I don't know why they're raised. It doesn't seem like it's supposed to be. If it was completely flush, completely flat, I think it would be a perfect lockup. But because of those two little dimples, and I think how they were created is somewhere along the manufacturing line, it seems as if they were pinched. Some kind of machine pinched it down a little bit. It's just you know, little bits of metal, but they're not. It's not right, and it's not a huge deal. It's not like it's wobbling or anything. But if I really, you know, if I pull up and down, it's just a tiny bit of blade play. But I believe that's just an imperfection from the manufacturing process. Don't know if this is throughout all of them or if it's just a unique case, but I only have one to compare to. So if you happen to have the same knife, you know, please comment below. Tell me if you have that too. But not a huge deal. There's no real such thing as a tolerable amount of up and down play, because if a blade has up and down play, you know, a folding knife, it's really not good. You really probably shouldn't use it very hard. I'll be right back because I'm at my 10 minutes ready because I babble, and I'll see you in a second. So I'm back. Yeah, so anyway, yeah, blade play up and down isn't really, it shouldn't be tolerable. If you have up and down play, it should be sent back to the maker, or you should probably use a different knife because it's not completely secure, especially a lockback knife, because you don't have complete contact. But it's just, it's literally probably the least amount of blade play you can actually have and call it blade play. Not a huge deal to me, but I still thought it was worth mentioning. As far as side to side, you have a little bit, but that's adjustable with the pivot screw. This was completely tight before I started using it, and from today's use, it created just a little side to side, tiny wiggle. It doesn't feel loose though. It feels tight enough with use. There's a synthetic handle here with the rubber overlay, and I have to say, again, kind of gimmicky with the big old BG on there, but it's comfortable. It really is. I have to say, this knife really surprised me, guys, because I really thought it was a big gimmick, and you're just playing off the Bear Grylls thing, and they're going to put up a bunch of pieces of crap, you know, and just sell them like crazy because everyone wants to be Bear Grylls. And I think that's a load of BS. Or BG, in this case. But anyway, I have to say, you know, I do like the knife. I like it. The rubber, it's kind of it's a dense rubber. It's not like really squishy. Don't think of like a one of those handball balls. It's not. It doesn't give very much, but it does have that rubbery finish, which offers grip. Feels good in the hand. The width on this knife I think is perfect for what it is, for its size. Not too thick. It's not super thin. It is very comfortable in the hand. Like I said, I mean, in an ideal world, I would give this probably another 1/8 of an inch, and it would be perfect for my hand. But a lot of you guys probably have just very slightly smaller hands than me, so it'll probably be perfect in your hands. But ergonomics are fine. You have a nice deep finger choil, which is nice if they intend this knife to be used pretty hard. You want to have a good secure grip, which you do have with this knife. Also, the jimping on the back here is very functional. It's not uncomfortable. There's a fine line with jimping or any kind of texturing on a knife. You have texturing that's totally inadequate and it serves no purpose at all because it's so slick. And then you have texturing that's just so aggressive that it hurts your finger. It's uncomfortable to use for a long duration of time. If you're actually, digging in and using it, you'll find that your finger gets raw. It's uncomfortable. This is a good compromise in between. You have deep serrations here, but they're rounded, if that makes any sense. They're not super sharp, so offers the grip you need, but it's not uncomfortable. And of course, that extends onto the blade here as well, which I really like. They did a good job with that. The pivot screw, by the way, here is a Torx screw, as well as both I'm sorry, there's just one body screw there. So, very interesting. Double thumb studs for lefty or left or right hand use. Pretty smooth opening and closing. There's no real detent on this, but you don't really need a detent on a lockback knife because the lock bar itself creates the tension that keeps that blade closed. So it's not a necessity. It is a light knife, which they claim on the package there. Lightweight and durable, which I would give it that. Yeah, it's lightweight and durable. Lanyard hole in here. If you want to throw a lanyard on there, it's always a nice addition. As far as the pocket clip, as you can see, you're stuck with this. Of course, you can remove it if you want, but you can't swap it to any other position. It's for a right side carry, tip down. And I have to say, I like the pocket clip. I really like it. Very, very comfortable in my pocket. Let me grab the jeans pocket here. In fact, I was wearing a pair of jeans today, and it is very nice. This is a pretty thick pocket here when I do my demonstrations, but you can see fits on there fine. There's enough flex and give in there. I like the deeper carry like this because it just makes me feel more secure. If I'm jostling around or moving around real fast, I don't have to worry about it falling out. If you have a lot of your knife actually hanging out of the pocket itself, if your pocket clip ends like this, sometimes I feel like it's going to flop out and fall on the ground and I'm going to lose it. But this one carries nice and deep, as you can see. It's somewhat stylish looking. The hole in the top there is just to access the second screw. There's 2 screws for the pocket clip. So that's what that hole is there for. And I guess that's it. It functions fine, feels comfortable in the hand, not extremely expensive. Again, I'll put retail and I guess street prices or dealer prices in the description box. But I like it. Gerber did a good job with this. I've been probably, I don't know what's the word, displeased is what I was going to say, but I don't know if that's really the word. I just disappointed, maybe. I've been a little disappointed in the last year or two with some Gerber products. I don't want to name any specifically because there's plenty of people out there who like them, and that's great for them. It's just they're not the company they used to be to me, but this is definitely a step in the right direction in my opinion. They did a very good job with this folder. I am very pleased with it. For the price point, I think it's worth getting if you're a huge Bear Grylls fan. I happen to, if I have to pick a survivalist on TV, I'm definitely more of a Les Stroud Canadian guy than Bear Grylls, but that's just personal preference for various reasons. But his show is entertaining either way. I don't go out of my way to watch it, but if it happens to be on, I'll plop on the couch and I'll watch him for a little while. He is entertaining. But anyway, that's it. That's the Scout folding knife. I probably won't do a review on the fixed blade he has because I don't use a fixed blade nearly as much as I use a folder. So it's just how it is. I don't review a whole lot of fixed blades because I just don't use them that often. But this one is definitely it passes my critiques. I went into this this knife thinking that it was going to be garbage, and it was going to be a total gimmick and a piece of crap, and it surprised me. It's turned out to be quite a decent knife. It's not my favorite knife, but it definitely passed my expectations with flying colors. So, like I said, if you're a Bear Grylls fan and you just gotta have one of these knives, this is a good one to pick if you're into folders. I definitely give it a passing grade. It hasn't let me down so far. But like I said, if for some reason in the future, with more use and with more carry, if I find that I do not like something or my opinion changes on it, I will certainly give you an update. If you don't hear about it from me for a while, well, it's going to be a while for me to use it anyway, but if you don't see a new video about it anytime soon, it's because I still like it and I still agree with everything that I think in this video. So, that's it, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the review. Like I said, super requested knife. So, I went out of my way to get it for you guys, and that's it. Again, link will be in the description box. I happen to get this from bladeops.com, and I actually got a couple other things from them too, which I'll show in future videos. One very cool new battle song. So stay tuned for that. But anyway, that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Take care.